Hello everyone, Hawkey here, back with another sort of Convallaria video. So our good friend Dotato, Potato Sourdough, has released the Ultimate CN Tier List update for October 2024. And the source for this is from Li Yao, who's a prominent CN content creator. And yeah, just at a glance, there's a few controversial things on this tier list, like why is Pamina so high? That's probably a really key one there. And I don't know why Convair's so high. I think he's pretty good, but maybe not that high. And August seems a bit low. Gloria too. And yeah, everything does seem a little bit off here and there. So there was also a thread on Reddit about this as well. And yeah, most surprised about Pamina. Is it because of bias for PvP? Original characters gone down. Take a reference look at Nungol. And yeah, there's lots of discussions, too biased against PvP. A lot of great PvE characters score very low. And yeah, I think the main thing is the separation between PvP and PvE's tier lists. Like, shout out to Gloria Hall, they do a lot of PvP and have a really good PvP tier list as well on their site. And this is based on the original video. So Dotato originally had this video on the tier list, and it does go over these categories. So the daily map clears, including Tower of Conquest. Like, should this even count as a score? Like, most of us just auto that. Tower Conquest these days for most players is just whatever. It's not something that we rank highly. There's the PvP score. Like, there's no rankings or rewards really for PvP, so this is like basically non-existent. Wow, non-existent for us. So we shouldn't even worry about the PvP until they release some sort of ranking system. We don't really need to try hard to get the top rewards for Clash and everything. Now this is the main one, which is the boss killing, including Tower Adversity. So I believe this also includes our hard PvE events like Fireside Chat and Spring Defense as well. And the next controversial one is the usage cost score. So this basically means how good a unit is at low stars on a tier list. Like, does that really matter? I mean, it does matter to an extent. Like, you know, you want to try and pull for a character which does have you don't have to spend that much time shard farming for it, but it doesn't mean that it should be really affecting the actual score on the tier list. That's what I like to think. So yeah, it's very controversial. You should take it with a grain of salt. Dotato does go over quite a lot of interesting content and a really good outline of the characters in this tier list. I just don't like the placing and how the original creator Li Yao really prioritized all this other dimensions which don't really affect us. Like, most of us are playing this game from a PvE basis, and we're mainly wanting to like beat Tower Adversity, beat event content, and we don't really pay much attention to the PvP and the usage costs and daily map clears. They don't really matter. Like, usage costs, it does matter to a degree, but that's more unit dependent instead of like across a tier list. And yeah, it's I did like on his previous video he shows the no PvP consideration tier list. I think that one would have been more accurate than the overall one he showed us. But yeah, it's a really nice summary of each of the units. Yeah, we know Doe is a whale, so he's getting multiple copies. I don't think, yeah, that's a bit tough for us to sort of relate to. Like, we probably wouldn't be spending as much as Doe there. He has his Doe. uh, well, please have a look at his tier list as well, because it does really showcase each of the units, which is really amazing. And yeah, just it's a really good summary of each of the units and how they work. And yeah, maybe he's you could treat his plan with a grain of salt because he's pulling for everyone as well. Uh, was there much else on here? I think that was pretty much it from his video. Actually, he did a actual PvP scoring on the side as well. Oops. Yeah, so we could see compared to this. So yeah, Doe, what are you doing? You gave us a PvP tier list, so Tristan, Homer, Tear are really strong for PvP. Pamina there, Rawia Alta. So what that'll mean is Tristan should be lower here. Homer could be a bit lower. Tear a bit lower. Pamina a bit lower. But yeah, I just don't get how this overall scoring really was calculated. Like, I prefer your original video, or maybe there should be a focus on like just the PvP and just the PvE side of things, because out of the all the dimensions that Liao goes through, we only really care about these two. So yeah, just looking back, we do have the tier list from Celion Journey, who has unfortunately left us for Honkai Star Rail. But his tier list was quite up to date, still pretty up to date for us as well, because there hasn't been much changes. We just got a few new units here and there, and he only really looks at the PvE side of things. Doesn't include the PvP content. So Coco still really top. August, Homer really top as breakers. Pamina's down here. Sophia, Rawia, Alta. Oh, sorry, Sophia, the normal Sophia, and then that's Rawia, Alta there. Cole, Nono, Will. I think that's fairly accurate as well. I'm not too sure about Rawia Alta. Maybe she can be a bit lower and then push everyone else down. Gloria, Inanna, Tear, so that's fairly straightforward. Some tier lists are prioritizing Agatha as well now, so but Ida's pretty strong as well. And Destroyer's a fairly more controversial one. I don't think Beryl's really that top anymore. Akambe and Tristan should be a bit higher. So that's every tier list has its own goods and bad. And also from our Discord, so our lovely meta discussion community on Discord, shout out to Krim and Dio. They've compiled together this with the community. So we've got Tear, Coco, Kaveh, Tristan, Sophia, Inanna, Sophia Alta, Gloria. So that's at tier 0. So yeah, I think that's fairly accurate. They said it's also ranked from left to right. I think Kaveh still can move a bit because he just came out, so he's quite recent. So we also got Akambe. I mean, we've seen how good he is in like PvE content, some PvP, but he's not the best everywhere. So he's also very expensive to build. So I think that's why he's a bit down. Homer, August. Actually, August is after Homer. Yeah, I think that's fairly reasonable. Homer does do all the support and debuffs, which is really good. Rawil Alta, Agatha. Yeah, Agatha is like a big underdog because a lot of the mechanics and like physical DPS and everything was sort of weaker in the Tower Versities in the more recent seasons. The mutations weren't too good for them, and Agatha has remained quite consistent with her DPS, so that's why she's up there. Lavida, Shakalulu, Ida, Beryl. Yeah, you guys have fallen a bit. Yeah, I'm surprised Shakalulu is so high, but her movement's quite good. We got Momo, Layla, Nono, Dentalion, Karis, Chia, Estrus. So that's the very new unit that came out. Nungol, Pamina's down here. Cole, yeah, it's just Teeden's always at the end, and Guzman as well. But this is also a PE tier list, more focus on Tower of Adversity. So yeah, it's very. I think this tier list is probably our best overall tier list for global. For the content we want to prioritize, like the PvE events and Tower Adversity, I'll suggest going through with this tier list. I'll put the link in my description below. And if you really want to know more about all the characters, go to Dotato's video. He shows like a summary of all the characters and plays like clips of like what each one does, which is really, really cool. Like basically mini showcases for each character. So I think that's really, really hype. And yeah, that's all from me today. Thank you everyone so much for watching. Please take tier lists with a grain of salt. I probably won't be making a tier list anytime soon.